Welcome to the first RGV Sports Show of the 2019-2020 season. We are excited to be here with you, bringing you the latest coverage of everything high school sports across the Rio Grande Valley. My name is Bryan Ramos. I am your 5A football beat writer. I've been covering high school sports in the Valley for the last 4 years, and I'm happy to be here with you, bringing you football and the coverage of every single sport here in the Rio Grande Valley this season. To my left is Andrew McCulloch.
My name is Andrew McCulloch. I'll be your District 36A beat writer here during football season.
And to my right is Raul Garcia.
And I'll be covering 31-6A football. I'm a veteran reporter. We've been covering community news and sports for the last 10 years in Rio Grande Valley. We're excited for this year's games.
And the RGV Sports Show will be coming at you live every Tuesday and Saturday to discuss everything high school sports, from football to volleyball and all the other good sports going on throughout the year. And don't forget to follow RGV Sports on Twitter and on Facebook for all the latest info, all the latest stories, all the latest action of everything high school sports in the Rio Grande Valley. So football season, back in action. Helmets are on. Kids are hitting each other. Football season in full flow. So let's get this started with some football talk. I'm your 5A football writer covering 5A Division 1. And that's the biggest district here in the Rio Grande Valley with 10 teams. And so they only have one non-district game, then it's 9 straight district games, all battling for only 4 playoff spots in District 16 5A D1. And I'm excited to cover this district. There's some good teams from the Brownsville area. Then, of course, we have Mission Veterans, the defending district champions, who will be returning to defend their district title this year. And I'm excited to see how this district shapes up and to see some of the talent that we have in 16 5A D1.
Talk about District 5A D1, and you got to start with Mission Veterans. They're losing a talented quarterback this year. How will they replace Landry Gilpin?
Obviously, that's the biggest question surrounding this program. How do you replace Mr. Texas Football 2018? And the answer is simple. Tradition doesn't graduate. Coach Gilpin coaches his kids up every year, and they return a bunch of players at the skill positions to help the new quarterback, Ricky Reina, step into that position and fill those shoes. Now, by no means is he going to duplicate what Landry Gilpin was able to do. But he's only a sophomore, and his weapons out wide in AJ Gonzaga and Mike Garcia allowed this offense to have nearly the same look as they did last year when they went into the 4th round, the first team to do so since 2011. Now, another player in this backfield is Danny Campu, the running back, who is one of the most underrated running backs in the Valley. Now, playing behind Landry Gilpin is easy to get overlooked, but this guy has been a steady workhorse for this Mission Veterans offense and will be relied upon to help Ricky Reina get in his groove as a sophomore quarterback and move those chains for the Patriot offense. So I'm expecting big things from him. Then on the defensive side, we have Jesse Gonzalez right in the middle, veteran secondary returning, who I think are going to be able to play fast and physical and fly to that ball to put the Patriots in contention for that District 16 5A D1 title once again.
Yeah, we did. I had a chance to talk to a lot of those players on media day, and they're excited. They have a lot of confidence in Ricky Reina coming back to take over under center.
Absolutely. Now, one of the other teams that I'm looking forward to seeing is La Jolla Palmview. Last year, La Jolla Palmview surprised a lot of people. They were underestimated, predicted by Dave Campbell, Texas football, to finish 9th in that 10-team district. They went ahead and finished 4th, locked up that playoff spot, and now they were chosen to finish 5th this year again. They feel disrespected. They feel they're doubted. They want to prove people wrong once again and get into that playoffs. And I think they're going to be able to compete for one of those spots. They have a new quarterback, David Gonzalez, who will be running things. He moves over from the wide receiver position to the quarterback, and he has a little bit of a dual threat. And I was talking to Coach Lequeñas from Palmview, and he said teams aren't going to know what to expect this year. David can run, he can pass, and for a program that's traditionally built on running the ball and ground and pound offense, I think David Gonzalez adds a different type of element to this offense that I'm excited to see this year.
They look really big from what I can tell.
Absolutely, yeah. They were a 6A team just 2 years ago. Now they're in the 5A ranks. They like to be doubted. You want to doubt them, go ahead. They use that as motivation. Their players love it, and they love to prove people wrong. They know people don't like them very much, but the Lobos love it, and they're excited to, once again, have that opportunity to prove people wrong.
Like you said at the top, this is the biggest district in the Valley with 10 teams. How do the likes of some schools like Donna, PSJA, Memorial, Southwest, and Rio stack up against the rest of the competition?
Now, with the Brownsville schools in this district, Brownsville Pace and Brownsville Veterans are the strongest teams in that area. But that leaves, if you add Mission Veterans into that mix, that leaves 1 to 2 playoff spots up for grabs for this Donna, Rio, and then we have PSG Memorial and PSG Southwest who will be competing for those spots. And each of those teams did some good things at the end of last season. PSG Memorial has a new coach, David Brown. He's a defensive expert, a former defensive coordinator at Raymondville. Now he comes over to lead the Wolverines. And they're hyped up to have somebody new leading that program. And as far as Rio Grande City, they're another team with a new face leading that program. Coach Leo Medeiros, who went to Roma High School graduate, now coaching the Rio Grande City Rattlers. He spent the last decade coaching in the Laredo School District and has seen success on both sides of the ball. Now he tries to bring some life into that Rio Grande City program. And Donna, we have a familiar name at quarterback, Avery Bowen.
Big time name, Donna.
His brother used to play for them. He was a really good running back and quarterback and a dual threat at that position. And now Avery Bowen, as a junior, will be the signal caller for the Redskins. And I'm looking forward to seeing what he brings to that team and how he's able to bring some life to that offense. Now, that's 16-5 D1. Now let's take a look at the big boys in District 36A with Andrew.
Absolutely. The story of District 36A is running backs, and more running backs. Seems to be the deepest position in any district in the Valley. You got guys like Campbell Spades at McCulloch Memorial. He's been doing it for 3 years already. And you look out at La Jolla, a guy like Eddie Villarreal leading that offense. And then you'd be remiss if you forgot the dual-headed monster of Tito Malanta and Andrew Maldonado leading that backfield in Mission. And then you've also got a dual-threat quarterback in Isaiah Ronhell, switching over to PSJ North last year after spending his first couple of years at Edinburgh North. We'll be looking to power that offense on the ground and through the air.
Now, the defending district champions, the PSJ High Bears. What are you expecting from them this season? How do they defend their district title?
Well, last year a lot of people weren't counting PSJA as a team with serious playoff hopes for, albeit a district crown even. They surprised a lot of people going 6-1 in district, only falling to Mission. This is head coach Lupe Rodriguez's 3rd year on the job. They've made the playoffs each of his first 2 seasons, but this year the goal will be breaking through the first round of those playoffs. In 2017, they had a disappointing loss to West Coast East in the first round. And last season, they lost an overtime heartbreaker to Eagle Pass in the first round. But it's all going to depend on quarterback Justin Morales, who's transitioning over from wide receiver. He played quarterback on the JV and freshman teams as a freshman and sophomore. Great success. And he'll be helped out by a talented trio of wide receivers. We talked about seniors Miguel Flores, Marco Guajardo, and Ethan Castillo. Guajardo and Flores, 2 of the top 3 wide receivers in this district last year. They should bring plenty of fireworks to the outside.
And those are 2 of the fastest receivers in the Valley. I've covered them in track. They're on the track as well. So I expect that to see them on the football field. And so why does Lincoln, the team that really struggled last year, win this in 2018? How do they turn things around after a disappointing season last year?
Well, you're right. It was definitely a disappointing season for Juarez Lincoln. Although their 0-10 record maybe doesn't describe their full season, they lost 4 games by a touchdown or less, just failing to close out strongly in the fourth quarter. So the first step to improvement is going to be finishing games strong. But the Huskies are only going to go as far as senior quarterback Josh Briones can carry them. He came into the season last year during week 3 after an injury. He played admirably, but couldn't get the job done in terms of wins. He's helped by a couple speedy wide receivers on the outside, Isaac Villanueva and Luis Flores. Flores is a big receiver, 6'3" frame, and he's the 2-time district and defending area champion in the high jump. So his hops are really going to come in handy in the receiving game. And then defensively, they took a big loss this week in practice. 4 returning starters on that defense. And middle linebacker Kim Hernandez had 70 tackles and was an all-district selection for the Huskies last year. Tore his ACL, he'll be out for the whole season. So they're really going to be banking on an experienced secondary to anchor that defense.
Brutal injury to start the season.
What about Mission High? Andrew, they got a talented quarterback. They got a lot of high profile with their coach. What can you expect from them?
Absolutely. Mission and Coach Coy Detmer might have the most versatile offense in this very run-heavy league. They can really run and throw the ball. And you got to start talking about sophomore quarterback Jeremy Duran.
These are exciting.
Oh yeah, he bursted onto the scene last year in some limited action. Started in 8 games, but threw for 1,465 yards, 14 TDs, and just 4 interceptions. That's some impressive composure by a freshman without any varsity experience. And the last time we saw him on the field, he actually had the best game of his young career, going 23 of 37 for a career-high 346 yards and 4 touchdowns, and a playoff loss to Laredo United.
We really have a cannon on that arm.
Absolutely. Coach Detmer praises his field vision and his football IQ. He said he's never seen such a developed mental aspect of the game from such a young player. And then you continue looking at this offense, at the 2-headed monster in the backfield, Tito Moranta and Andrew Maldonado. Both 3-year varsity starters. They bring a lot of experience and versatility to the table. They can block, run, catch passes out of the backfield. Last year they combined for over 2,000 yards as a team and 21 total touchdowns. It's really, really hard to slow down this year. And they allow the Eagles to present a lot of different multiple formations. You're talking 1- and 2-back pro sets, and they'll even spread it out a little bit in shotgun.
Mission High, one of the best backfields in that district. Let's take one of the best backs in that district over at La Jolla High. You were able to get a glimpse of them in their first scrimmage. What were your first thoughts on La Jolla High?
Well, La Jolla stops and starts with running back Eddie Villarreal. He might be the single most important player in this district to his team. He looked very good last night against Raymondville. Reeled off a couple big runs and was responsible for the majority of his team's offense. However, the news of the night was when Villarreal got tackled from behind, fell down awkwardly, and left the game with an injured left ankle. Looked like he was iced on the training table for the rest of the game. Looks like it could potentially be a high ankle sprain, but we're not really sure of his status moving forward. That could be a big loss for the Coyotes because he was responsible for most of their offense last year, powering them to 1,600 yards on the ground, and he had a district-high 252 carries.
We hope he gets a lot better before the start of the season.
Yeah, and it really helped La Jolla in the early going because they're locked in a quarterback battle right now. Doesn't seem to be a favorite at the moment, so it'll be interesting to keep an eye on that and see how it plays out. Then you look defensively at the Coyotes. Very strong back secondary. They really defended the pass well against Raymondville. Lots of impressive breakups. But we'll have to see how the front seven of their defense does against the run come district play.
Right. Now let's take things to our other 6A district, District 31 6A, with the powerhouses in Westlaco and Edinburgh with our beat writer Raul Garcia.
Let me say I had a good chance to see all these guys in action. I wanted to start off with Robert Vela Sabercats. They're the favorite to take 31 6A again. I mean, you talk football, you got to start with the Sabercats because they got a lot of talent, and from the looks at their practice that I was able to take and check out, I think they're starting right where they ended last year and in the chase to go back to the playoffs and maybe want to handle Austin Westlake a little differently this year because they come back with quarterback AJ Sotelo, and he looks pretty hot and promising. along with their secondary quarterback, Chase Campbell. They're both throwing darts downfield and connecting every time. And they got a really good running back coming in that we saw last year in McKinney. And McKinney looks strong, and he looks like he's ready to hit the holes with Big Bailey to break open those holes. And that guy is something else. I mean, we talked to him. He said he's just ready to put on the pads and do what he likes to do with his and open up the holes for his team.
Yeah, he's a big problem. TCU commit opening up holes for them in the offense.
Yeah, another D1 prospect. So Bella's going to have a lot of things going for him. But in 31-6A, there's some teams with a lot of heart, and they're coming in and they mean business because we have Donner North. It wasn't very. Their game didn't turn out the way they wanted to turn out in the season, going 0-10. Economides, they want a chance at the playoff spot too. And then you have Edinburgh North with Coach Damon Gonzalez, who is also stirring up the pot. And he's coming back with a big core of lettermen with guys that are hungry. And there's a Brandon Borrego who says, "Throw me the ball," and he'll be ready to score.
Which of those teams do you think is most well positioned for a bounce back year in 2019?
I have my fingers crossed for Donna, but I think where the Edinburgh North Cougars are going to give the Bobcats a run for the fourth playoff spot would be my take on the situation and what's going to unfold in 31-6A fourth playoff spot.
And let's take a look at those playoff spots. Last year it was Bella, Westaco High, Westaco East, and Edinburgh High.
And Edinburgh.
How are those seeds 2 through 4 looking coming into the 2019 season?
I don't think there may be a real shuffling things, but Westaco East with Coach Mike Forget, handling business, no nonsense, getting his players prepared. And their first test is against Manor, which has multiple D1 athletes that are going to go to the next level, and they really believe that they can get past Manor, and if they can get past Manor, they can get past anyone, including Wesco and Edinburgh Bella, the big monster 31-6A.
First week ought to tell us a whole lot right off the bat.
Yeah, we're going to get a lot of storylines, and it's exciting to see.
Always must-see football in District 31-6A. Now let's take it to District 16-5A, Division 2, which is my district. This district only 17 district, but the two teams at the top, both from Sharyland ISD, Sharyland High, Sharyland Pioneer, finished 1-2 last year. They'll have a target on their backs coming into this season, but Pioneer starts off as the early season favorite with Eddie Lee Marburger back at quarterback and LeVar Lindo, who's getting some Division I looks for football, even in basketball. He's a problem on the field. He can go over the top and get it. And then opposite of him, we have Luke Padilla, another receiver who creates problems and is able to get inside and outside of defenses and get into that secondary for big games. So I'm expecting to see really big things from Sharon and Pioneer this season.
They're going to be fun to watch, and I'm excited to see what the quarterback and their secondary can do.
Absolutely. Now, on the other side of Sharyland, take it to Sharyland High with head coach Ryan Adame. He built, it's a factory over there. They're going to win. They're going to play Rattler football, and they live by that motto: "War, we are Rattlers." And they're going to bring it every time. Coach Adame, his team graduates players every year, but they always seem to reload, always seem to refill on players, and have that competitive edge to go and compete Friday nights. And there's a defending district champs from last year. I'm interested to see, with only 6 returners, starters coming back this year, how will they look in 2019?
It'll be interesting to see how seamless that transition is with that much roster turnover.
Absolutely, and one of the teams I'm most excited to see in this district is the Valley View Tigers. Valley View, last season in 2018, make the playoffs for the first time in school history. A big accomplishment for that program. Now this year they got 2 new players in the fold. 2 transfers from Mission High, twin brothers, Damian Gomez, a quarterback, Alexander Gomez, middle linebacker. there were two of the best players on that Mission High team last year. Damian battled injury, had a broken collarbone last year, and missed a good portion of last year. But now he's back as a senior to lead this Tigers offense, and that add a new element. Last year they were a run-heavy offense. This year he gives them a real dual threat from the quarterback position that can make any throw you ask him to. So I mean, Alexander Gomez, he's one of the most fiery players I've ever seen. Since his freshman season, I've seen him line the fire with that Mission Eagles defense. Now he comes to lead the Tigers defense right in the middle from the linebacker position. I'm expecting big things from the Valley View Tigers to go ahead and repeat and make that second playoff appearance in school history this year.
Well, they're a young team. I remember seeing their first win.
Yeah.
Maybe 4 years ago against Mercedes. That was a big step forward.
Yeah, big step forward for a young program who people are expecting good things from in 2019. But the team in this district that all eyes will be on are the Ed Couch-Elsa Yellow Jackets. La Máquina Maria, last year, 2-8, the worst season since 1983. One of the winningest programs here in the Rio Grande Valley. Coach Christian Navarro called last year an anomaly. This year, he comes in with his first full season leading the Yellow Jackets. And the Yellow Jackets, they're the defending state champions in powerlifting. Coach Navarro wants to bring that toughness, that grit, that strength to the football team so they can start to build that Ed Couch-Elsa football program back to where it was not too long ago. So it'll be interesting to see what kind of steps Ed Couch-Elsa can take. Do they take a step forward? Do they remain the same? I'm looking forward to watching them get going in District 16 5A D2.
Yeah, definitely. Mike Rodriguez is coming back as under center, and he's getting a lot of encouragement from the family and friends that are also on that team. And I'll tell you, from years past when I covered Ed Couch-Elsa and was with them at morning breakfast, we went to afternoon at church, and then late afternoon practice. I mean, these guys have a tradition. They're a football town, and they like to put on the pads and put on a show. Because when you go to Ed Couch, it gets loud.
Absolutely, and giving Mike Rodriguez some support in the backfield. They have a three-headed monster in Jake Cardenas, Sean Alvarado, and Edward Cardoza. Three guys who got busy last night. I was able to catch Ed Couch-Elsa, Donna High, and Harlingen South in a 3-team scrimmage. Those three guys, all three of them had their moments. They all broke big runs. Jay and Sean both found the end zone for the Yellow Jackets to give them a 2-0 win over Donna High. So if the Ed Couch-Elsa Yellow Jackets are going to do anything in 2019, it's going to be led by that ground game. And, well, that wraps up our football talk. Now we're going to take a look at our volleyball player of the week.
Kassandra Lerma, I mean, she has a real hard hit. You wouldn't want to go up and try and block that. Let's take a look at her stats and her highlights. The work of Kassandra.
Oh, thank you for picking me. It's an honor, and I hope you follow our games because they're going to be something to look out for. She pushes me so I could be try to become the best that I could be.
Right.
So that really motivates me and it makes me try to be on top and
So when you looked at those stats and you saw you were number one in the nation in kills or kill percentage, what went through your mind?
At first I thought it was just in Texas, but then in practice, that's when the girl told me, dude, it's the nation. I was like, what? What? I didn't believe it. But right now I'm still...
Volleyball season in full swing. Good to see some volleyball action get going here in the Rio Grande Valley. And another person from the Rio Grande Valley who's been getting busy lately, former Mackay Bulldog Shaine Casas, recently went to the Phillips 66 Nationals in Palo Alto, California, and performed admirably. Stood on the podium next to Ryan Lochte, set some of his own personal records, and currently stands as the 7th fastest all time in the backstroke.
And one of those records you surpassed was Michael Phelps, who flipped swimming on the back in Olympic Games.
Absolutely. So we had the chance to speak to Shaine and take a look at his accomplishments this past week. So let's go ahead and take a look at that.
Absolutely destroying the field in this 100-meter backstroke. Shaine Casas, the 19-year-old personal best earlier today, and now a national title this evening.
I mean, it was a really good meet. I didn't really, every swim I swam, it was just kind of like, wow, I did that. I wasn't really sure. Every time I looked at the scoreboard, I was kind of like, wow, I didn't really think I went that fast. I don't know. It's just, sometimes it happens like that. You know, sometimes it doesn't go your way, but that time it was just happening every time. I mean, it's a really cool experience. I just want to clear up one thing, though. I didn't break his record. I just passed him on the top 10 list.
Top 10 list.
I just want to clear that out.
Yeah, no, definitely.
But yeah. I mean, it's a humbling experience because I never thought I'd be able to be racing these guys. I mean, one, because they were pretty old at the time. I thought they would have been out of there by then, but Lochtey's still going, so that's pretty cool for him. And yeah, I mean, it's kind of a crazy thing that happened that it's all just spiraled so quickly in my favor, which is really nice. I watched one of the races. It was crazy to watch. It wasn't the way it was in my head. In my head, I thought the guys were right on me, so I was just going. But I mean, I put a pretty big distance on them. But
That's the one where the announcer said, he's destroying the field. Is that the one?
that's
the
one.
That's the only part I heard in the video. Like, he's just destroying the field out there.
I mean, Rowdy Gaines is a great commentator, so yeah.
A little bit about being home and you know, being with mom and family and friends and stuff. Can you talk a little about that and what it's like to come back after a little bit?
It's a good reset. It's just come home and relax. It isn't Call Station. It's just the same thing every day. So I guess it's a good break from what I'm used to. So there's that, and this is like my support system. So I come home and everybody's here. So that's nice because normally I'm 6 hours away, so I don't really get to see them. I'll see them at NCAA's or any meet that they can make the really long drive to get up there. So there's that.
What's the short-term and then the long-term goal for you?
Short term, definitely just improve on my college swimming. I don't want to lose. I want to be the guy at NCAA's winning or just medaling, because I felt this year was not the greatest for me. You know, I mean, people were still impressed and I'm still grateful for how I did, but I just want to do better and show people that I'm not just a long course swimmer. I can do both, and I just want to be competitive because I just need to learn how to race a little better. Consistency, that's the biggest, that's the one you gotta write, that's the one you gotta put in your locker. Consistent, because if you're not consistent, you're not gonna go anywhere. You gotta be able to put in the hard work every single day and know that you did everything, because if you don't get what you need, that you know that you did your best, and that's all that matters. Second one is hard work, because you can't get anywhere without that one. And third, you just need a little bit of luck sometimes, because sometimes it won't go out in your favor. You know, maybe you get deked, or the guy next to you just has the race of his life or something. But those three are the ones that really help you out. I think going into this year, I'm definitely going to cut out a lot of that to help focus.
Right.
Especially coming into the back end of the year, leading to trials, that's definitely going to get turned off.
What's the biggest surprise of your freshman year? Whether it's athletically or academically or friend-wise or anything, what would it be?
Just the role I had to play. You know, coming into this program, I knew that I would be one of the faster guys, but the pressure and the role that they put onto me as I need to be the guy to step up, especially including at dual meets. They would put me on the A relay, and I never really thought I'd be on the A relay. I was like, I'm just a freshman. I could sail across and do my thing and show up at the end of the season. But they put me on the relays and told me I had to swim fast and win these relays and win events. So that was a shock to me, but I grew up and I learned from it.
But it doesn't seem like that's something that really bothers you, because that's who you've been all these times. Maybe you had that initial shock, right? But then you probably slid right into it.
Yeah, I mean, I used to freak out at meets, and I'll never forget how nervous I was for my first SEC's relay race. I couldn't really stop moving for about 2 hours leading up to the race, because I just heard about the hype of how intense that race is. And
Did it live up to the expectations?
yeah, I swam pretty well, and it was a great race. We all swam well. SEC was a great experience, but yeah, it was just one of those things where it was just so nerve-wracking. Couldn't stop thinking about it.
Now,
I guess people really do remember kids from their hometown, because I feel like I was more of like in the shadow. I didn't really think that too many people were paying attention, but I mean, in reality, there was schools or my friends, family, everybody just...
your new friends, your new families.
Yeah, new
Hey, I know him.
Congratulating me, and all my old friends and stuff like that texting me like, "Hey, good job, thank you," or "Congrats on all your accomplishments" and stuff like that. So it was pretty eye-opening to see how many people actually cared, because I swim. I'm not a five-star recruit out of football. I'm not. But it's crazy that a lot of people actually do care, which is cool. I think it's evolving. People are starting to appreciate the sport a little more, which is nice too.
And we're going. It's good to see an RGV native making waves in the pool. Now we're going to close this out with some more football talk, some more scrimmages coming up this week. We're going to break down a couple of the scrimmages that we're most looking forward to. Personally, I will be out Friday night catching Sharyland Pioneer against Mission Veterans. It's Mission Veterans' first scrimmage, Pioneer's second of the year. They faced PSG Memorial last week. Two of the strongest teams in 5A. I'm really looking forward to seeing those guys go head-to-head. And another scrimmage that I'm really looking forward to seeing, Harlingen High, the Cardinals, against the Rattlers of Sharyland High, two-story programs here in the Valley. Excited to see how they get together Friday night.
Yeah, those are always the two teams that meet in the playoffs at some point.
Absolutely, and Raul, what are you looking forward to checking out?
Yeah, Friday night, Pentown Chelsea and the Yellow Jackets are going to meet the Wesco East Wildcats on the gridiron, so that's going to be fun to watch and see what Mike Rodriguez can do going up against Mike Forget and Ramsey Vasquez, also under center for the Wesco East. Both teams, they don't like to lose, and they couch. They come in with a chip on their shoulder, and Wesco East, they also didn't do so well last year, so they want to come out and give everything in when they head up north for their first game on the 30th. Another game which will be exciting is Wesco High Panthers are going to take on the Brownsville Veterans Chargers. So Brownsville been a pretty good team, but Wesco High also a very good team coming off a really good season, only losing 2 games and a playoff win well in the playoffs. So those 2 games are going to be fun, exciting, and bring some action at our next fight shot.
It'll be interesting to see how those 2 West Dakota schools look on Friday night.
Yeah, definitely get a real good shot at seeing what those 2 teams are really made of in this campaign in 2019.
Andrew's got one of the best matchups here in the scrimmage week. What are you expecting out of this one?
That's right. I'm looking forward to 2 very exciting scrimmages featuring some of the top teams in all of 6A throughout the Valley. First one, which might be the biggest scrimmage of the preseason, features 2 defending district champions in Edinburgh Vale and PSJA High. They won the 2 6A districts that we cover, and I'm sure there's no love lost between these teams. They spent several years as district rivals, so I'm sure they'll be ready to get after it when they hit the field Thursday morning.
Absolutely.
And then Friday evening, I'm excited to see McCulloch Memorial travel to Harlingen South. They're led by the stud running back Campbell Spates. He led the district in rushing yards last year, committed to Navy over the summer. It'll be interesting to see how he does and their return to the ground.
Good scrimmages going on all across the Valley. We can't wait for week 1. It's almost here. Just one more week of scrimmages, and it's finally ready to go. It's go time.
And football's in the air. Football, they're already putting on their pads.
Absolutely. Now, we had the opportunity to speak to these teams at the Monitors Media Days last month, where we got to speak to all these players, the coaches, and learn about their teams and their expectations and goals coming into the 2019 season. And we also had some fun with them.
We had a lot of fun. These guys are great. We're going to bring you who these players are every week at our podcast. So stay tuned, because you're going to want to come back and see these interviews done by the players interviewing themselves and even their coaches.
Yeah, and the players had a chance to grab the mic and play the role of interviewer themselves and have some fun with their teammates and goof around. And that was good to see. So every Saturday we're going to be bringing you one of those media day interviews conducted by the players from that team. And the first video that we're bringing
Yeah, who
you
do you see today?
is the Mission High Eagles
Mission High.
of District 36A.
Jeremy Dugan, man, the guy in his team. There's something else, and you know all about that.
Oh yeah, they're a fun loving bunch, and I know they're ready to pop the pads back on and get back out there.
Definitely. Let's check out that video.
My name is Steve Ariel. This is Jeremy Durant, our quarterback, class of 2022. Steven Alvarez, class of 2020, lineman. So Jeremy, how do you feel to be a quarterback?
It's good. I get to throw touchdowns and I get to lead the team.
Steven, how does it feel to be blocking for your quarterback?
Nah, it's good, man. You know, I like to protect Jeremy with all I have, and that's my main job. That's my main job.
What's it like to be a Hey, what's it like to be a Mission League play for Mr. Corey Detmer?
We're living the high life right now. We're living pretty good. It's pretty fun, and the city's revolving around us. So I said we get a lot of publicity, and there's a bunch of girls.
As well.
Corey Detmer's a legend, man. He played for the Eagles. He threw touchdowns with the Eagles.
Hey, Corey Detmer's a pimp. Hey, no, that's you. No one else. So, Jeremy, how do you feel the bond is with your team?
Our bond is good, especially since we went to College Station. We had a blast. It was so fun, and our team is just gelling together, and I think we have a good season.
Steven, how do you feel like your bond is with the linemen?
We're all good. We work together as a unit to help keep Jeremy from getting sacked or tackled.
Huh?
How many touchdowns are you gonna get this year?
100.
How many sacks are you letting up this year?
What?
How many sacks are you letting up this year?
0.
Who do you think the toughest DB is in our district?
Number 11 from, I think, Juarez.
Who do you think is the toughest D-line we're gonna face all year?
Honestly, probably number 90 from Waters Lincoln.
Hold on. Hey, what's your favorite snack? Your favorite go-to snack and drink?
Rap snacks.
You said rap amigos? What's your favorite snack and drink?
Funyuns or Gatorade purple.
Funyuns or purple Gatorade?
Hey, Jeremy, so how do you feel to have...
Good to see the players having some fun with us there in media days. Very appreciative of them coming out and having some fun.
Yeah, I got like that. They were saying they were trying to figure out who's the best team on the team. Let's play on this team.
Yeah,
They said their coach, Corey Detmer.
Oh, yeah, I wouldn't doubt that. I put my money on him. Well, that wraps up our show for today. We're going to toss it to Andrew for any last words.
Well, football is in the air, and you can tell everyone, players, coaches, fans, all excited for the season to start, and we're excited to bring you the most comprehensive high school football coverage in the Valley, and it should be a fun season.
Absolutely, Raul.
Definitely, RGV Sports, we're going to bring you the best up close and personal interviews, and get ready for some video highlights.
Definitely. Now, make sure to tune into our first live RGV Sports Show at 3 p.m. this Saturday, streamed on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter, and follow us at RGV Sports. We'll be coming at you live every Saturday and Tuesday to break down everything RGV Sports, from football to volleyball and everything else. And make sure to pick up the RGV Sports football preview coming out on August 28th, which breaks down 37 high school football teams from across the Valley. Thank you guys for joining us today. I'm Bryan Ramos.
I'm Andrew McCulloch.
Raul Garcia.
And we'll see you on Saturday.